Hi, I'm Jen from Plus One Craft, and you may be wondering what organizing your life plus some household items like a sponge, bottle cap, an old key card, a taken apart coffee cup sleeve, some taped together straws, and a mesh bag from the grocery store have to do with a gel press. Well, I hope you'll stick around and watch this technique video and find out. Today I'm going to be using the 3x5 gel press plate. This gives me a lot of flexibility with the printing I'm going to be doing today. And it's a great starter plate too. If this is your first time using gel press, you can get the 3x5 for I think less than 10 bucks. When I think about all the tools I've paid like way more than that for and don't use, and the gel press plates I use all the time. I'm just using some paint from my local big box craft store, nothing expensive. I've got my coffee sleeve. I'm going to be using that to make the texture, and my straws and my stickers. I'm just doing a very small amount of paint. You don't need much on the 3x5. Don't go overboard. Rolling it off. I'm just pressing my coffee sleeve into the paint and lifting with the acrylic block and printing right on the stickers. Got a pretty good pattern on there. Now I'm using my turquoise metallic. I'm going to be using that with the straws. Just doing the straws all over the plate, adding the pattern. That's a little too much paint for me, so I'm going to blot some of it with my extra paper there. And another technique I use to take some paint off, I'm going to use a baby wipe. There we go. Now more of that, the first layer is shining through. But it still needs something, like another color, I think, to make it pop. So I'm going to grab some yellow paint. And I'm going to use my coffee sleeve again, but this time I'm going to go in the opposite direction so that the stripes are going the other way. Yep, that's what I needed. But a little too much yellow paint, so again, I'm going to take some of it off. There we go. For this next set of stickers, I'm going to be using these small address labels and acrylic inks, like you might use with a dip pen or an airbrush. I've got the sparkly one and a regular one. I'm just going to roll those out on the gel press like I would any paint. Might be too much leftover paint from the last stickers on here. I'm just using a plain old bottle cap to make a circular pattern. I'm going to press it down on the stickers. And yeah, it looks more turquoise than blue, so I suspect I had too much residual paint on there. So, but I'm going to give it a shot with my sparkly turquoise paint and an old hotel room key. And I really like how the sparkle looks, but I've definitely got turquoise on turquoise. So I'm just going to go back over with the blue, roll that out again, use my bottle cap again, and add another layer. This is a very forgiving craft. There we go. Now I've got more of the blue that I was looking for. The inks have an interesting effect on the gel plate too. You use just a very small quantity, like maybe 2 drops, and they tend to bead up on the gel plate. And that, if you want that effect, it can definitely look really good. So I'm going to do that here and get my sticker unstuck. And then I'm going to go over it again with the turquoise sparkly ink. And I really like how the inks bead up on here and how they look when you layer them. So I'm layering the second one. And there we go. There's my second set of stickers with the acrylic inks. For this last set of stickers, I'm just going to clean up the plate really fast. I'm using a baby wipe. You can also use hand sanitizer. I'm going to be using an orange bag from the supermarket. And I'm going to be using some of my mini distress ink pads to go right through that mesh of the orange bag straight onto the plate. The plate takes the ink beautifully. And I'm picking out some nice spring colors, pinks, yellows, some greens, just going right through that mesh onto the gel press plate. And I'm going to print on the large stickers. Oh, I like how that turned out. And I'm going to be wiping the plate in between because I'm using stamping inks and I just don't want my things to get muddy. This time I'm using different shades of blue, making stripes with them, and I'm going to just use a basic household sponge for my texture, overlapping a little bit. There we go, some great stripes in blue. I'm going to experiment a little bit now. And first, I'm going to do some more inks through the mesh again, this time an orange. And then I'm going to take like a turquoise and do that with the sponge. And so layer those two textures. Kind of a weird color combination, but I like the effects, maybe not the color combo. And finally, I'm going to go through the mesh, I'm going to stamp the pad directly with my mini distress and then do the sponge through the mesh and see how that looks. Oh, that effect I really like. That one turned out very well. First, I used the medium stickers. I used some craft store artist paint and a coffee cup sleeve and straws. On my small labels, I used acrylic ink, a bottle cap, and an old key card. And on my large labels, I used the Distress Mini inks, a mesh bag, and a sponge. So that's how I made my 3 things. Once again, I'm Jen from +1craft.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Gel Press YouTube channel. And don't forget to create every day. Thanks for watching.